Hey y'all, Miss Mayhew here, and we are going to go over the FRQ practice for cell size. The prompt says two cells were compared in terms of their interactions with their environments. Temperature, nutrients, oxygen, and pH were kept the same, and the scientists studying the cells graphed the results. They also included the graph below of the size and the surface area to volume ratio. A asks you to identify the feature of the cell that would allow the scientist to understand how quickly nutrients and oxygen are able to diffuse into the cell. The answer to this one is going to be the volume. The volume of the cell is what allows those nutrients to move into the cell. Just picture a really, really big volume. It's going to take a long time for something to travel from the surface to the center, or from the center to the surface, whereas a smaller one, it's not going to take as long. Part B asks you to identify the feature of the cell that would allow scientists to understand how much a cell is able to interact with its environment. That is going to be the surface area. Remember, the surface area is what's actually touching the environment and is able to allow things to pass through that plasma membrane. So the higher surface area you have, the more it can interact with the environment. The smaller the surface area, the less it's able to interact with the environment. Part C says, based on the graph, predict which cell would be faster at metabolizing nutrients. The answer to that would be a cube. And for part D, that's because the surface area on the top and the volume at the bottom of my ratio, we want the surface area to be a big number. Okay, we want it to be bigger so that it can interact more with the environment. The volume at the bottom we want to be smaller because we want it to travel quickly from the surface to the center, to diffuse quickly. So our surface area to volume ratio, to be more efficient, should be a bigger number. Looking at the graph, the cube has the bigger surface area to volume ratio at the same size of a sphere.